Hey guys, Pastor Jim here at Southwest Homestead. Going to take a few minutes and look at the fig trees. They are fruiting and they're getting close to being ripe. This one here, let me back up. We took a look at this one, I think a couple weeks ago. This is the tiger stripe or the panchy, however you pronounce it, fig. Kind of right at the end of the courtyard in the back, but it's about 8 feet tall. It went in as about a 4 or 6 inch little rooted branch. It was a little one, not this spring, last spring. So it's been in, I don't even know, it's been in a year and a half or something, I think, actually. But it is just taken off and grown like crazy. Let me see if I don't trip on stuff here. I'm going to try and bring the camera in here and show some of these figs. So we're going to bring it in. Let me flip this around, actually. Here we go. No. Come on, flip. It won't flip around. All right, we'll just leave it like this. So I come over here. Maybe you can see. You can see all these figs in here. Got little figs. Bunch in there. They're not quite ripe. No. Not quite. I was hoping I could pick one off and show you guys, but we got a bunch. I mean, for a tree, I don't know if you can see much of that. For a tree as young as this one is, I mean, it was a rooted cutting off of a mature tree. So it's a young tree, but it's part of a mature tree, which is always one of the nice, which is always one of the nice things. Let me see if I can actually put words together today. I'm a little tired. It's one of the nice things about going with a rooted branch, cutting from an existing tree. That cutting is the age of the original tree. It's not a new plant. It's not like a seedling or something. So it's actually an old tree. It was just an itty bitty tree, and that was a pretty big tree. And I'm really sad to be leaving this one here because we got this one, and then right next to it here, I've got my Shangri-La mulberry that is much younger, and then the barbecue and stuff patio area right over there, and then right on the other side of the camera here, you can't see, I've got my 2 cherry trees, the mini Lee and the royal Lee. And all right, we'll just flip this around here. I can't hardly see nothing right now. This one got a little sunburnt. This I forget if this is the mini or the royal. It got pretty sunburnt. It didn't get enough shade. The first few years you really want to give them some shade, but all the new growth is coming out. You see that? It's coming out nice. The other one over here got a little sunburnt, but not nearly as bad. But at the same time, we're starting to get cold nights, and now they're going to start losing their leaves for the winter. And I was really hoping for cherries this spring. I was like, we should actually get some decent cherries, but I guess the new owners will maybe actually get some good cherries this spring. That would be awesome. But one of the reasons I know I say but a lot apparently. One of the reasons we got the tiger striped fig here is to help combat the birds. If all your fruit turns dark color when it's ripe, the birds just go at it like crazy. These, it stays the white and green color, other than a little bit of sunburnt. Some of the ones I'm showing you in here. They got a little bit of sunburnt, so you got some brown spots. But they don't get brown spots or that dark reddish brown color from ripening. They get it from sunburnt. So the other ones over here, in here, about the same size, getting close to being ripe. Maybe we'll actually get some before we move. We'll see. That would be nice if I actually get to have some. They don't turn a dark color. So if the birds are used to all of your fruit turning a dark color when it's ripe, and the birds are watching it every day. Like we've had some other stuff like the jujubes, the Lee jujubes that are nice. Once they start turning a nice dark color, the birds just attack them like crazy. We don't get to eat very many ripe ones, unfortunately. The birds take them all. This, it's deceiving to the birds, so they don't know they're ripe. And theoretically, we would at least get a nice crop off of this, even if the other fig trees don't produce. Or I mean, they produce, but we don't get very much of them. While we're standing here, this is the Shangri-La mulberry. This is the one I staked up after the ground squirrels. We call them prairie dogs out here, even though they're not actually prairie dogs, some kind of little rodent thing that eats the roots. I flooded the ground here like crazy. I let the hose just trickle for a day and a half and just flooded all their holes. Whatever they are, the little ground squirrel things, they drowned real easy. So I flooded it and hopefully took care of some of the ones around here. I topped this. I trimmed a bunch of the stuff back, so I wasn't trying to support all of the all the branches, all the canopy, everything on it. So I trimmed it back nice because the roots had been eaten to some extent. I don't know how much, but to some extent they were eating. So less roots, you need less canopy. Just like if you're planting a bare root plant, where it got dug out, the roots got ripped out, you got to go through and root prune it, and then you prune the top back to match. That way your root structure and the top of your plant are in proportion. So I did that when I staked this back up. I staked it up. It's nice and solid now. I mean, it's still, you can see around it down in here, it's still staked, but it doesn't move very much. I can feel it's nice and solid in the ground, and I'm gonna leave it staked just because. But it was flowering and fruiting again. We got one, let's see if we can bring it right in here. We got one right in there. These are the sweetest. It just fell off too. That thing is ripe. Of all the mulberries I have, this is definitely my favorite. They are the sweetest and they have a really good flavor. And I didn't realize when I put this one in, this is actually a smaller. It's not a dwarf, but it's more of a semi-dwarf. There's another one up here. And I'm gonna eat that one too because I don't want the birds to get it. So, oh yeah, we got more in here. They're just starting to change color. A little white kind of into there. So, it's a really good one. I mean, we've got Cook's Pakistan, White Pakistan, and White Persian here as well. The white ones, the kids say taste more like green grapes. I don't really care for them on it, honestly. But I put the white ones in strategic locations where I don't want colored berries falling and staining everything. We're gonna walk over here a little bit and maybe some shade. Hi, are you gonna be on the YouTube video talking about figs? Okay. Okay, I'll be done with this one in just a minute. We'll turn around over here. Let's see. So yeah, we went from figs to mulberries. I put the white mulberries in areas closer to the house and the playground. So if we don't get them all and they fall down and start making a mess everywhere and the kids run on them, they're not tracking all this dark red, purpley juice everywhere to stain everything. It's white. I mean, it's still bad, but it's not as bad. I put the colored ones, the dark red one, red, burgundy, whatever colored berries, in strategic areas where the kids don't run and play as much. This one is actually right on the edge where there's going to be a little fountain on the other side, so you couldn't really get under half of the mulberry and the fig right here, and then those can be fenced. You can kind of see some fence posts right here. We were putting up another little area over here for the spa, and that won't happen. Once again, another house where we get almost there and the spa doesn't happen. One of these days. It sure would be nice. My back would love it. I know that. To actually get the hot tub in and have a nice spa and be able to relax, that would be nice. But anyway, great fig tree. Just kind of spending a little time looking at stuff, checking on stuff out here in the garden, and hoping that some of the stuff is ripe so we can actually get some of it before we go. But we will continue on. It is the beginning of November here, and before you know it, we're going to be on our way out to the new place. So, it's an exciting journey. We'll see you out there, guys. Bless you.